What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to another edition of the BTSI Show. I'm your host, Christopher J. Thank you guys for tuning in. Do me a favor on your way in, ladies and gentlemen. Haven't done this in a while, but let's get into it. Like this video, subscribe to my YouTube, follow me on all social links are located in the description. $sign the BTSI Show is the Cash App. Participant waive all rights to privacy. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Once we reach that goal, one lucky person may get $100. We might do two or three lucky people. And speaking of subscribers, I have noticed the numbers have been growing. So I do want to give a special shout out to my latest subscribers. Thank you guys for showing me love and rocking with the content. Um, I just started putting up shorts, and I'm shocked to see where that's going. So to you guys, all you want big time, thank you so much. When we get to 1,000, let's see who wins these $100. So let's get into the title. And I could have sworn I turned this off. Oh, speaking of turned off, let me make sure Do Not Disturb is on, because this is around the time that I will get a phone call, especially from people I don't want to hear from right now. Now, let's continue. Title: There's no such thing as emotional intelligence. There isn't. And I've been now out. Let me say this. I was one of those people who were known for saying you gotta show some emotional intelligence. And it takes a wise man to come and educate us about some of the dumb stuff we say. Salute to my guy, Say You Like Podcast. Thank you for pulling up, brother. And and I'm not putting this as a talking point debunk, although this is a talking point that will be debunked. Let's see what happens in the next week or two. People haven't got the hint yet. Then we'll do a talk point debunk segment on why emotional intelligence, there's no such thing. There is nothing intelligent about emotions. Emotions are raw, uncontrolled. What's that word people like to say? Passionate. There's no intelligence with that. It's just raw feelings. That's all it is. Nothing more, nothing less. How can emotion be intelligent? Because that means when it comes to emotion, there's also logic. These two cannot go together. One is water, one is oil. They do not mesh together. Why do we say emotional intelligence? I would like to find an individual who started this way because they need to explain that to me. Now, here's a word you can't say: emotional control. I don't know if y'all have heard me in the last few weeks. Whenever someone bring up emotional intelligence, if I don't say the phrase that doesn't exist, I will go back and say emotional control. Salute to the guy Nadish in the building. What's going on, man? There is something called emotional control. That's something we need to focus on. For example, what happened? I'll peel the curtains back a little bit into my personal life because Lord knows I have been having a good week. The last 7 days have been putrid because of my son. Y'all know who Grayson is. Love that boy to death. That's my twin. Boy is acting a ass in school. He's 5, by the way, in kindergarten. Now, some of the teachers understand. They're like, he's just young. It is what it is. And his coach said the same things like, we are here for you. We're on your side. How you want to handle this? Honestly, I'm not going to confirm or deny if a belt touched my son. I won't do that here. But I will say this. There's a difference between physical abuse and physical discipline. You have to know the difference before you even enter that realm of a conversation. Now, once you know the difference when it comes to physical discipline, there's something called positive reinforcement and negative reinforcement. All of us can agree we got our ass whooped growing up. Needless to say, there was some negative reinforcement because our parents was pissed. Some of y'all got it lucky. You know why? Because some of your parents wasn't African spankings were different. You know what rivals African spankings? Caribbean spankings. So, needless to say, there was a lot of negative reinforcements regarding that. However, here's where I'm going with this. I don't like phone calls from my son's school because that means something bad happened. Bad as in this boy don't have no act right in his system. This boy has my last name, ladies and gentlemen. He's making me look bad. Now, if this was a public school, he'll still get the same smoke, but I don't have to worry. I don't have the anxiety in the back of my head on if he gets in trouble 10 times, he will get thrown out the school. He's at a is it a charter school or some alternative school? I don't know. Either way, some of you guys know I allow my son to go to the school because this gives him a competitive advantage amongst his peers. He's going to learn Spanish. He's going to learn Mandarin. He's learning that now as a kindergartner. Now, let me get back to the point about there's no such thing as emotional intelligence, but there's something called emotional control. I don't like getting phone calls that my son is doing his own thing, not listening to the teachers, evading people's personal space and that type of stuff, because he thinks school is fun. This is where he finds friends. No, the fuck it is not. So when I get these calls from the teachers, these constant calls, these constant messages, I'm getting infuriated every single time. And I'm really legit getting pissed off. Like there's times where some of you guys know what I do for a living. I have the option, unless they actually need me on an assignment, like today they need me on an assignment, I have the option to go home after I put 10 hours in, and then I could go home. I usually don't like leaving money on the table, but because this boy decided to do his own thing and the coach called me because of it, I had to leave money on the table, go home and deal with my son. Now, I will say this. The good news is I found this out early in the afternoon because that gave me time to process my emotions and learn how to have it under control. Because had I dealt with my son and I was angry, that would have been a disaster. That will be me planting seed for something worse in the future. I don't want to do that. I have seen the downfalls of that. Now, some people say there's some positivity to that. Not really, not really. Because, and I will say this: positive things happen after the fact because that was implemented on a separate situation, and you was able to build on that. Whether when you decided to discipline your children, however that looks like, based off of emotion. No, you can't. You can't do that because it's not going to translate well. It might and I will say this: it may be good for the moment, maybe, maybe not. We'll get into that later. But as far as 5 years from now, 10 years from now, I got to think about the future, and I got to figure out how do I invest into now. Now, did my son get in trouble from daddy? 100% he did. Like I said, I'm not confirming or denying anything, but one thing I can tell you is I had emotional control when I had to deal with my son because there's nothing intelligent about emotion in of itself. You can control it, you can't educate it, you can't outsmart it. You can't do none of that shit. There's no such thing as emotional intelligence. You have to use your logic when it comes to situations. Matter of fact, in all situations, you got to use your logic. Now, would it be now? How can I say this? Can emotions also back it up? Yeah, sure. Like for example, let's use marriage. Yes, when we get married, yes, there's the love, the passion, and all that stuff when it comes to marriage. Yes, 100%. But let's be real. Just because you love that person doesn't mean that's the person you need to be with. Let me say that again. Just because you really love that person, that doesn't mean that's the person you need to be with. You need to sit down and use some logic and figure out, does this make sense? What about this relationship is a good idea? Matter of fact, we ignore red flags all the time. Granted, we do it for something different. Like I'm trying to get in you trying to get in somebody's pants that night, or you trying to get in somebody's dress underneath someone's dress that night. Yeah, that's 100%. That's why people tend to ignore the red flags, not knowing why you're ignoring the red flags. You might be stuck with something for 18 to 22 years. When you use your logic about if you really want to be with this person, does it make sense? What I say all the time: does it make sense? Does it add value? Will it help you achieve your ultimate goal? That's pure logic. There's no emotions to that. Put that crap to the side because you're gonna have to control your emotions, especially when you embark on something as far as marriage goes. That requires a lot of control. It's easy to say emotional intelligence because it sounds sexy to the women. Ladies love hearing that shit. A man that has emotional intelligence. Matter of fact, I'm starting to think that emotional intelligence is a feminist word. I can't prove that, but give me a week or two, I might be able to control your emotions, fellas. Control your well, yeah, men control their emotions. I'm not worried about that. To the other male Homo sapiens, which is another word for humans, control your emotions. Ladies, please control your emotions as well. This emotional intelligence shit, there's no such thing. Put an end to that right now. Now, I had to get that. I was supposed to be talking about this topic weeks ago, but I've just been putting it off. But yeah, I'm gonna actually leave it right there, ladies and gentlemen. And we're gonna go back to regular schedule program. Now I gotta say this. Tonight we were supposed to do a stream at 9 o'clock Central Standard Time. Unfortunately, I've been called on assignment. I won't be able to do it. I won't be able to do it. But we will push it back to next week Wednesday, which is actually good because there's a pay per view event happening that Saturday, and this can go hand in hand while I give out my predictions, and I can also those who are into sports gambling. Let's see how I can assist you with that. Well, let's go ahead and get out of here, people. I will be back later on with another video later on today. You have my word. On your way out, do me a favor, like this video, subscribe to my YouTube, follow me on all social links are located in the description. $sign the BTSI shows the Cash App, participate, waive all reciprocity. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Once we reach that goal, one lucky person may get $100. And if I'm in a good mood, maybe two people or three will get $100. So, in closing, ladies and gentlemen, hear me and hear me clearly. You got nothing I say today. Get this. There is no such thing as emotional intelligence because there's nothing intelligent about emotions. There's nothing intelligent about passion. But I tell you one thing, both of them you can control. Exercise emotional control because there's no such thing as emotional intelligence. Thank you guys for tuning in. This has been the BTSI Show. I'm your host, Christopher J. I'll be back in a couple of hours. Peace out.